and white, ill-housed and ill-advised. Your face is as mean as your life has been. Crash into my arms, I want to. You don't agree, but you don't refuse. I know you, and I know a place where no one is likely to pass. Oh, you don't care if it's lace, and you don't care if you're lost. And oh, you look so tired, but tonight you presume too much. Too much. Too much. And if it's the last thing I ever do, I'm gonna get you. Crash into my arms, I want to. You don't agree, but you don't refuse. I know you. Welcome. That is one of my favorite Morrissey songs. If you are a Morrissey or a Smiths fan, that is not my favorite Smith song. That is my favorite Morrissey song. Jack the Ripper, I thought would be ideal for this stream. How many times do we feel like we're married to Jack the Ripper, or we were married to Jack the Ripper? But anyhow, let's shout out to Trove, David Castro, Bookshelf, Learn, Results Oriented, Stephen from Arizona, Jason Reed, Colorado, and Bookshelf Learn says, nice to see the notification for this pop up on time, having missed the last one. Well, I'm glad you guys can all be part of this. Wow. It's been a crazy last week. We've lost one of our brothers, Frank, channel 1800 Dumb, and but we're moving forward. That's what he would want us to do. Ed is in the house. Good to see you. Never doing that again in this lifetime. Delart McGregor is back. Good to see Delart and Ed. I haven't seen you guys for a little bit of time. What's good with you? But listen, why is marriage and cohabitation dangerous? Well, it's dangerous physically. Out here in Park City, a lady poisoned his husband and he passed away. She is now behind bars. That's happening more and more. You're hearing more and more stories about physically, potentially being dangerous to a man. In other words, not existing. Timmy Kramer is back from Puerto Vallarta. I've decided that if I do marry, she must be a virgin. Deserve the best. That's a tall order, my friend. But I'm sure there's a course out there that'll teach you how to marry a virgin. Men want virgins. There's no shame in that. Men want feminine, classy, innocent, clean vessels, virgins. Right? Men don't want a woman with a high body count. It's really that simple. So let's talk about it. Physically dangerous. We all know that. You can be, and women, and there's many women that like to brush up against their husbands, if you know what I mean. Marriage, cohabitation, dating are playing Russian roulette. Men get overconfident until they get a live round. Well said. Financially, it's dangerous. You don't know where that money is going. I got a buddy whose wife pays all the bills. He has no idea where his money goes. She could be stashing it away. She could have a second bank account. She could be buying things that she doesn't need or the family doesn't need. She could be making that destitute. I know so many women, especially my ex-mother-in-law, that literally ran the finances into the ground. Dangerous. Dangerous. Be very careful. Those that are married or listening to this stream that stumbled across it, I got a little alley right here. hopefully they realize that they got to know where their money's going. I always ran the checkbook in my house. I never trusted, not even my wife. She spent it well, whatever, but I could always watch it. I was never one of those out of sight, out of mind with money. Hey, wifey, can I get a credit? Can I use the debit card so I can buy myself a soda pop today? No, I always took control. I never trusted anybody but me with the money. That's just how I was. Call me abusive, but that's how I roll. Get freeze in the house. Have you ever read feminist propaganda? They teach women that men are oppressor. Of course. That's the narrative. They really need a new narrative. I mean, if you think about it, it's like watching the same movie every single day with their narrative. And yet they really, truly went in the days of potential conflict with other countries, they get behind the man. Whereas their teachings tell them that they can be on the front lines with the men who are abusive. So there you go. Black Pill Neo's in the house. Good to see you, brother. Women live in the fantasy that a man should be able to sustain her feelings of romantic love. It is impossible. It doesn't exist, and it's dangerous for men. That's another thing. Men get in their feelings, and that's dangerous for men. Because if she breaks up with the man, most men are not told how to manage their feelings. And some go to levels of unprecedented levels and could potentially end up behind bars. They could hurt the new guy. This just happened 10 minutes from me. A guy was getting divorced, or a lady was divorcing her husband, dating a new guy. The guy tracked the car. There was a conflict, and one man did not maintain his mortality after that said meeting. So again, emotional men are some of the most dangerous men out there. And based off a marriage or cohabitation or breakup, it doesn't look good. This is why we do these channels, to help men facilitate and understand how to process their feelings. You process it through other men. That's how you do it. Not with ladies. Well said, Jason Reed. My LTRs have always had our money and her money. Ain't that the truth, Trog? Ain't that the truth? What's up to Men's Daily Advice? Good to see you. Check out his channel. He's got some good stuff. Appreciate you being here, brother. And then you've got the potential for false alligators. Living under a roof with a wife and kids, you have potential for false alligators, which could also land you in hot water, literally, with the county court or the family court or the criminal court. So why is cohabitation and marriage dangerous? For those reasons. It's really that simple. It doesn't take a degree in physics to realize the potential pitfalls that come with it. We say, do not get married. Do not cohabitate. Do not especially have kids. If you want kids, I would say have them in another country. I like the Coach Greg Adams advice. Have them in another country where the laws don't affect you here. Now, is that good for the kids? Well, if you don't see your dad every day, no, it's not good. Anytime there's not a father around is not a good thing. However, you'll probably see them more if they live in a country than you would if you go through a marriage and a divorce court. Simple as that. Timmy Kramer says, my Uncle Leo was shot and blank at a wedding. Fight started out over a woman. Oh, geez. I would love to know, Timmy, how many men that are sitting behind bars is the result of a woman? Well, 75% of most incarcerated young men are from fatherless homes. So there you go. Megatron's in the house. Good to see you, brother. I've cohabitated 5 times and it just isn't worth it, says E. Good to have you, brother. Part of the reasons why I'm monk now, I've had a few exes with jealous, head boyfriends, and that sucks to deal with. Having to put your life at risk for the used box. Well said, Stephen. I wish more men understood that. The benefit and risk ratio is hella unbalanced to the risk side. The return on investment isn't there. Right, brother? Ed says, feeling better each day that passes, enjoying the decline and watching the delusional women trying to trap me once again to the plantation. I just say it's 2023. It's not possible. No, those days are long gone, unfortunately. So if you don't believe me, you can go buy a course from a guru that'll tell you different, and you'll end up in a divorce court. The chances of you having a very happy and successful relationship with the modern day woman is extremely rare. Rad does not believe that 98% of women are worth it. Zero cohab in the North American matrix says men's daily. Well said. So what are all of us men supposed to do when we want to have a woman? Just live with that one, Miss Dero. I think the Jonathan Noble way is the right way. If you want to experience a lady partner, you live separate houses, you have separate incomes, you have separate lives, you come together for the soul of intimacy, and then you go away and go live your life. However, that also has risks as well. She could potentially get all knotted up in her emotions, and she could fall in love, and that could lead to potential issues as well. So that was probably the only way. You have separate lives and you come together to literally connect, if you know what I mean. Mysterio says, I go through wanting and not wanting. Well, sure. I mean, I think men, at the end of the day, if none of these issues were out there, if women were docile, classy, feminine, loved their man, respected their man, every man would want to be, most men would want to be part of that. It truly is. Now, there's a 1 to 2% of women, and I think are decent enough, but those, again, they still have female brains and female nature, as we have male brains and male nature. Bookshelf learned decent women had dads who helped them become well-rounded by seeing men as more than SCX and a pocketbook. Well said, Bookshelf learned. Only women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally. Bada being in the house. Chris Rock. He's a funny dude. There is no cohabitation once she is in. It's hers and your stuff is going in boxes. Yeah. Or you're fighting if she doesn't get her way. Cohabitation is completely frowned upon. Megatron. I couldn't agree more. There's some scientists that say that men were not meant to be monogamous. Get free. I believe that men and women, I believe that monogamy is a construct in the last 150 years. And I believe before that, we again, our biology says we are not monogamous. If we were like that, then we would probably close our eyes just to the women around us. Men seek to spread our seed with as many women as possible to extend the human race and our bloodlines. It's really that simple. So monogamy doesn't seem to fit in that little box. I always try to live in post-nut clarity mode. Trog, well said, brother. If you want a faithful companion, buy a dog. Seraphim, good to see you. Most women won't go for the separate lifestyle, not if she had kids and aging parents. Most women is right. You're absolutely right, Mysterio from Winnipeg. And also female validation that goes with cohabitation. I think another issue is just you get on each other's nerves. That's a risk. That's dangerous to men. When you get on each other's nerves, you become less of a man of who you are. You lose the zest for life and purpose because you feel like you have to walk on eggshells. So you die physically, and most men are existing. They're not living. They're just existing till the day they die. And I think that has a lot of factors in the fact that you don't want to make her upset. You'd rather have a happy wife, happy life. You don't want the stress. And so most men live quiet lives of desperation, even if they are married. So a lot of guys are like, I tell her no, she get behind the sink and make me a sandwich. Yeah, see how long that lasts, especially if you're married. Like Polylem also stated, get your passport, make sure it's up to date, and explore other countries that are not influenced by Western ladies. USA Matrix country. Just remember, female nature still exists. Well said, brother. A lot of guys don't understand that. They literally believe that they fly over to Central America, South America, they're going to find women waiting for them as if they were their dream princes forever. These women have 6 or 7 guys a week bringing their passports. Of course, they're going to give you all the loving and the companionship you want because they know the next day they're going to get more money from a new guy. You got to be more delusional to be a passport bro today than to get married in the United States. Now, are there areas of the world where women seem to be more respectful for men? Potentially. But I don't trust them. Why? The internet. Female nature. The modern day woman is more interested in how she looks and getting a pog, getting her butt like a Kardashian and spending all of her time boring and looking in a mirror. That's really the majority of women today, or looking at their phone and their watches and constantly being on social media and seeking female attention and validation. Guys, you can only give a woman so much female attention and validation, and then they go look for it elsewhere. So 98% of women are not recommended. 1 to 2% are decent, but also need to be vetted. And we still do not push marriage, cohabitation, or kids. It's really that simple. It's very, very extremely dangerous to men. You have the potential of either not waking up tomorrow, or being behind bars, or dying a miserable existence because you just don't want to, you're just being nagged at all the time. Or you don't feel like you're living because you have to take care of somebody else's needs before yours. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. And a lot of guys look at the fantasy of it. They want to make banana pancakes on Saturday. They want to call from the phone, on the way home. Hey baby, can you pick me up some Cornish game hens and maybe a bottle of wine, and we can have a nice night in and so forth, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that only lasts the first week, first month, maybe. Female nature is global, says Seraphim. Well, absolutely. Overseas girls are more respectful because they have to be, Bobby. Maybe if they're in very poverty-stricken nations, Bobby, and I would agree with that statement. However, when they're in poverty-seeking nations, they're seeking resources because they don't have it. So they're going to potentially put on a mask, and then you're going to take care of their family, right? Wolf King's in the house. Rad's killing it. What's up to you, brother? Surf Shack is back. The passport game was over when smartphones became the norm. Ooh, isn't that the truth? Laying it down to Chinatown, Surf Shack. Men need to understand that the government hands all the power over to the woman. She understands this, and her mood can destroy you. Sure. People are looking forward to flying cars, and I'm asking, where are advanced, realistic futures robots? I'm sure that that's going to happen. I bet, look what Tesla is trying to invent. The new that Tesla bot that's going to clean your house, do your homework, talk to you. That'll be interesting. And I'll probably get to see it in my lifetime within the next 10 years. No more cohabitation. For what's mine is mine. What's hers, I don't want to give it to Tyrone till he gets bored of you. I'm cool with all the gifts that he offers for us, apart from women. There you go, Ed, laying it down. Masculinity, men first, chase excellence, says Get Free. You are 100% right. So, Rad, don't shack up with my Polish lady, even if it's her house down the road. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it, brother. Most women want marriage. And another thing, if men that move into women's homes, the women, there's so many women that hold it against men. They'll kick you out. It's their home. Never. The guys that move into other women's homes, not good. Mysterio, most women want marriage. I would agree with that, because they want the attention. They want the label of a wife, of a marriage. They don't want to be weird because they're not married when all their friends are married. And then when their friends all get divorced, then they all want a divorce. Interesting how that works. And then they all get and show up at the local watering hole and have their appetizers and skinny margaritas and skinny girl vodkas. And then they say, my husband was abusive and controlling and abusive. Women across the world have the choice to be decent people, and in developed nations, most girls choose not to be nice. You're well said. Well said, Bobby. Poon slaying till age 87. Well, they say 87-year-olds that are in nursing homes, those guys are throwing down like rabbits. Singletown Bachelor's in the house. Good to see you, brother. Singletown, check out Singletown's channel. He's got some good stuff. The Polish girls are better, but maybe that's not saying much. You're right. Good evening to Singletown. It's late over there where he's at. What detours me from South America or Asia, despite them having gorgeous women, is their family is a package deal. You're flipping the bill for her family. Well said, Stephen, especially Philippines, Thailand, and so forth. I'm sure nothing will go wrong with being married or moving a woman in. She will respect my space. WHO 346. He's laying some sarcasm down to Chinatown. Women used to have wife skills, cooking, and baby care. She came with a dowry and low body count. As Archie said, those were the days. Ain't that the truth? Skinny girl margaritas can get you in trouble, says Megatron. Ain't that the truth? I'm just going to wear an animal skin rug and belch with a big giant beer in my hand and say, no way. That would be a great image. 2:20 a.m. in Denmark. Get some sleep tonight or this morning, Singletown Bachelor. Even Polish girls are woke now. Well, everywhere, it just seems to be the narrative. And so the divide keeps going. Men are appearing to stay more and more, or they just can't be in a relationship because girls have these expectations, women have expectations that are so high, not even Superman can reach them. If you simp, you'll be played, harvested, broke, and burnt out at age 60, says JC. Well said. Tell me where you're from, brother. Move in and out, part-time puss tenderizer. That's funny. I wonder how Amish girls are. Well, that might be your last area because they don't have the electricity to have the internet. I don't know if they have phones. But they would have to run their phones through some propane. I think they use propane on the Amish. They don't use anything off the grid. They might not have computers. I don't know. Maybe. They probably don't. I wonder how Amish girls are. And that's the key. You know, they come from families with a mom and dad intact. And I believe their mothers are probably extremely submissive and old school. So it might be good, but you never know. Then they get that 1 year where they can go out and experience life as a Gentile. And then if they decide to stay outside of it, I can't remember how that works. There was a movie or a show about that. But anyhow, but they're still a female nature. It's a sad world for relationships, says WHO. You're absolutely right. 220 in the Swiss Alps as well, says Seraphim. Brad, I got to go, but I had sent you a hat chat. Hello. Thanks for being here, Singletown. Get some sleep, brother. Sleep well. It's a reason why I have standing appointments for hair washing at beauty shops. Sup, Brad? Hey, if you want, there's an idea. If you want the touch of a woman, go find a really hot hairdresser and have her massage your scalp. JG is in the house. Good to have you. Sup to you. Tell me where you're from. If you are new, it's F nowadays. We have to find women in caves raised by apes. Well, yeah, there might be one or two out there. If you let me know where they're at. Any men can feel comfortable in a relationship these days, knowing that she has the trigger to pull any moment she decides to pull. Ed Lee, 100%, Ed. She can change her mind at any time. I think single life and intermittent dating, no kids is the real life. Kids and marriage is the alternative. In the near future, unless kids are involved, probably no marriage for most men. Well, it's the decline of marriage, Mysterio, right? Chris Mitchell, the Emperor, is back. Good to see you, brother. Jump in Discord. I haven't been in Discord for a while. I don't know about you, but it's so sensual. Sensual when someone washes your hair. Hard to hide the erection. Well, you know, the guys that aren't able to have any intimate encounters with women should, and that are really wanting that, should probably seek the services of an escort. That's, and fly out to Nevada. That's what I would say. Spend the money, fly out to Nevada and have a weekend if that's what they need. And I don't blame young men that want to lay with women. That is their biology. But unfortunately, it's extremely dangerous today, especially with all of the false alligators. If religion produced worthy wives, there wouldn't be the sexual stereotypes about them. Mormon and Catholic girls are famous for some freakiness. Oh, they sure are, Stephen. I know that. Father Saunders is back. Good to see Mr. Saunders. Jared going late. He's live streaming at night. He's a funny one. Check out his streams. Good to see Father Saunders. He knows a thing or two about men. in MGTOW. Real adulthood starts at 16. Teens did not really exist 100 years ago. And I was thinking about that the other day. Like 100 years ago, what were teenagers like? Did they call them teenagers? You know, they had to be different because life was tough back then. Do you think that one day women will love men again? Women love men very differently, Surf Shack. They love men more or less for utilitarian purposes, protection, provision. I think there are a percentage, very, very little percentage, 1 to 2% of women that could potentially love the man for the man himself. But in the end, if the man is not cooperating, not providing, not protecting, they do not love the man. It's very transactional. And again, if you're not getting putty from your lady, your wife is not putting out, how much do you love her? Again, love goes away. Love doesn't exist. Love is just chemical. Men who can't get laid should count their blessings. More girls, more problems, Bobby. Yep. But men are so enslaved by their biology. We all are. We have to learn how to control it. Marriage is like crypto meme coin that can go to zero. Patriots won. Well said. A lot of hype. E says no teenagers. Teenagers is a marketing term. There you go. Women 2023, we're strong and independent. We just want men to do everything for us while we complain about everything. Bada bing. Seems a lot of complaining and blaming. Are brothels legally sanctioned around the world, or is it underground? I think maybe some countries have it. I know Nevada, it is regulated. So it's expensive, apparently. She's never yours. It's just your turn, says Seraphim. Well said, brother. They love what we provide, and they use us as utilities. A lot of women seem to be like that. Mouth agape is in the house. Good to see Mouth. But that's the reality. I mean, marriage is extremely dangerous. She literally can be Jack the Ripper in an emotional way, in a mental way, in a financial way, in a physical way. Very, very careful. I would never do it again, ever. I'll never live with a woman again, ever. Number one, I'm too old. And number two, I just believe that the risks outweigh the rewards by 10 to 1. And it's going to delay my progress in life. It's as simple as that. Women are definitely out on the prowl this cuffing season. It's about family parties, warmth in the winter, and pictures for all the sites. Ain't that the truth, guys? They want the attention and validation. Put your likes up in those photos. Get your likes up. Get your popcorn here. Get your likes up. I was asked this question in Australia. What is a woman? Anyone have an answer? A woman has a uterus, and she births children and takes care of men. That's my definition of a woman. A beautiful creature that loves to take care of her man, loves to have babies, loves to be married, loves to cook, loves to clean. Is sex supposed to last from 16 to 96 with the same woman? According to Dr. Buss, age 23 is what all men of all ages want beauty-wise. I don't know. I hope so. I think men are having, look at Al Pacino, just had a kid at what? He's 83. Timmy says, guard your wallet, men. I think that is very wise advice, Mr. Timmy. Glory hole dating, smoke and poke. I'm sure there's a, you know what? Maybe that's going to be something in the future. If women expectations and standards aren't based in reality, it's going to get really bleak for them. I just think that the entitlement has gone through the roof now based on reality TV and the internet, socials, and the Kardashians. What man, how many relationships are going to work based on that? It's going to be very difficult. Did you find being married a distraction, Rad? We had, the marriage, we had good times. We had obviously more bad times and good times in the end, but we came together to build a family. We were opposites. I was a skater. She was a popular, pretty, into makeup, into girl stuff, into buying things. And I always was a minimalist, and I liked doing things with adventure. I was a skateboarder. I did those types of things. And we came together to build a house, or to build a family. That's really, we wanted a family. We were both educated. We both had college degrees. We had jobs, and that's why we came together. And unfortunately, it ended. Unfortunately and unfortunately. Unfortunately for the kids and the house, but fortunately for me. But yeah, it is. It was a distraction in a lot of ways. I felt like I couldn't really be myself again. But then again, I was sacrificing who I was for my kids. I wanted to help them. So I was willing to put everything that I wanted to pursue in life on hold until they graduated or moved out. But she didn't want to do any of that. She had no desire to ride motorcycles. She had no desire to travel like to places I wanted to go or how I wanted to do it. She was more of the type that wanted to go to a resort, sit on a lawn chair or a pool chair for all weekend and read a novel and dip her toes in the pool every now and again, which is fine. But I'm all about taking Mexican buses all over the place, being crazy in that regards. It's a joke. Australian answer, a deluxe hand. JC, attaboy. Remember when the only person's validation that was important was your girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, not Joe Smo in Nevada? Absolutely. Absolutely. Amar, thanks for sending those videos today, brother. I appreciate it. Amar's the one that saved all my videos, and he's been a good dude. Appreciate you being here. It's got to be late over there. Reality TV isn't reality. I always found that funny. It's scripted, isn't it? You almost need a body cam, car cam, house cam at all times to have somewhat of a chance to protect yourself out there in this shit show if one is still participating. It's effing ridiculous. Laying it down to Chinatown, Father Saunders, you're 100% right. Maybe that's going to happen. Maybe someone's going to invent a hidden camera for their coat. So it's always on. So you have evidence that you against these false alligators. Really, most men or women use sex to try to fulfill an emotional void and never find it, then spend their lives having meaningless sex. I refuse to be a slave to basic urges. Good for you, brother. Women used to get married for financial security. Now they get divorced for financial security. Interesting, bada bing, how that works, isn't it? You got to be married to get divorced. TV's programming like social media. No wonder most of females are on head meds. Well said. A lot of women are on head meds, man. That's another issue right there. Mine went on antidepressants as well. And she went on a particular one, Wellbutrin, that really messed her up. And now my daughter's on it and she's messed up. Was your ex-wife the best bang for Rad? No, she wasn't. She was decent, but she was not the best. Best father is a millionaire because getting finances right shows you are successful. Best father is a millionaire because getting finances right shows you're successful. Patriots won. I think so. You can't win on reality TV. True story. I think you're right. I wish I knew what I know now before I opened my heart to a single mother, before she destroyed my soul. Luckily, I rebelled against defeat and alive, happier than ever, men first. Yeah. I mean, guys, we've all gone through a shit show. And I wouldn't say, you know what? I had to go through it. I wouldn't be here if I didn't go through it. So I had to go through it. I had to go through the pain, the struggle, the rejection, the depression, the anger. And I can tell you now, and it's so cliche, that life is so much better. Life is so much better without that nagging, without living in the quiet desperation that most men live in, walking on eggshells, having the disrespect from your kids because your wife didn't respect you. And there's a lot of things that you get through. You start looking back and you start connecting the pieces and you're like, you know what? It was never going to work from the beginning. I too was destroyed by a single mother. It continues to this day from her side of the family as far as causing drama. And Father Saunders has got a story, I'll tell you that. He married a single mom with, I think, one or two kids, maybe one. Adopted them, had a couple more, three or more. I think he got 5 or 6 kids. And then went to the military, fought for his country, got hurt, and she went after everything. But he's in a better position. I feel bad for the Gen Z teenagers and the shitstorm they're about to walk into when they reach adulthood. Women are absolutely terrible now, and it's hard to afford anything. Will Murphy. Yeah, think about the money you saved not being married. Was my wife the best bang? Don't really know, but you can ask my brother. Best bangs always end up being one-night stands and that you remember for life. I had some good one-night stands, I won't lie. Successful marriages are like Bigfoot. There's occasional sightings, but hard evidence of its existence has yet to be found. Ooh, I like that. That would be a wonderful bumper sticker. Bada bing, we got to make that a bumper sticker. Cohabitation means you'll be her slave, says Europe. Good to have you, brother. 3 kids. Gotcha. Remember, Rad, just live, laugh, and love. You go, girl. You go. Live, loud, love. Live, what is it? Eat, love, pray for 300 Trebek. Frankie Hill said he can't ride his old board no more. Too heavy. It's dope looking board, though. Maybe I'll mount it on the wall. Those old boards, I don't know if you're watching, but a lot of these new skaters are riding old boards. It's a thing now, and they're killing it. Modern women are men. Ooh, Europe. Couldn't have said it better. They're actually more masculine than they are feminine, I think. Disrespectful, mouthy, difficult to deal with, unpleasant to be around, frustrating, nagging. Yeah, sure. At least the young dudes get to see how trash women are through their posting their thoughts and feelings. I walked into the shitstorm blind. Well said, brother. Had a coworker friend retired, tried marriage again. After she drained his 401, she divorced him. No way he can recover now, Jason. Oh, that fantasy that she's different than the rest of them is going to destroy you. Unfortunate. He's going to have to go somewhere cheap to live in his car. Through hell and back, expensive divorce, but it was worth it. Yep, I agree with that, Seraphim. My divorce cost me 6 figures plus just in legal costs, but it didn't even come into any mental, emotional, what I lost, stressing. It's your lawyer and court fees are one thing, but you look at the other tangible issues, the mental cost, the emotional cost, the spiritual, the financial, or then the physical cost. Divorce takes a lot from you, but so does marriage. I sure see a lot of these inspirational signs at garage sales. Live, laugh, love, believe, faith. You go, girl. Eat, pray, love. As a man, I'd rather be lonely than miserable and lonely. Bada bing. And I think you hit it on the head right there, Bada bing. A lot of men that are married are miserable and lonely. Both. If you live with her, she can do whatever she wants, and the man may have to ask for her permission. That's another issue. You don't want to upset the apple cart, so you ask for permission. Most masculine is having a training camp and sign up for a fight. I don't see talk or any of that masculine. Masculine is our actions. Well said, Patriots. Eat, pray, love. You go, girl. Yep. I don't know who I am anymore. I need to find myself because Oprah told me to. Modern women want a 2-in-1 man, an ATM machine, and a blue pill ultrasound. And Fonzie. Well said, Europe. Unfortunately, men can't be alpha and beta at the same time. There is actually a TV show called Sex Love. That's the name of it on Netflix. Go watch it. It's about the woman marries the beta bucks, and then she's having an affair with her first boyfriend who was an alpha, a Chad. And then he tries to be the husband finds out and tries to be the alpha man. Just doesn't work. But watch it, 2 seasons. Maybe antidepressants are bioencoded need for women more than men, Mysterio. I think there's something about birth control and antidepressants that's causing the modern women to become who they are. I think it's planned. I got lucky. My ex-wife was an amateur gold digger, and I had a good lawyer. Her long list of demands got wrecked, but hard life lesson learned. You're well said, Stephen, and you're not the only one in that regards. Timmy says, she asked me, what's your love language? There's another one. What's your love language? Sex. Oh, so it's physical touch. No, sex. I hear some of these Reddit stories where the man is saying, I want a divorce, asking for permission. It should be, I will be divorcing you. Our words are power. I wonder how many men ask their wives for a divorce. Good thought. You'll see her true face when she lives with you, the two-face, Jack and Hyde. Well said. Free Slave Mind says, rebel against narcissistic women. Good to have you, brother. Modern women want blue pill alphas. They sure do, until they don't. Mochi's back. Good to see Mochi. Hola to you. What happened to privacy, Rad? Here's my dick on TV. Absolutely. What's going on? You're a little hungry. You're gonna get a taco. You're gonna go to the taqueria. Hell is never-ending season of the Kardashians. You're 100% right. Marriage is betting almost everything you own and save that your wife will love you forever. It's fantasy, isn't it? There's a fantasy. You know, I can sell you the London Bridge in Arizona. I got a buyer for it. Typically, the greatest physical risk a man is exposed to is driving in motor vehicles. And the greatest financial risk a man may be exposed to is if he engages in marriage or cohabitation. Well said, JC. Well said, brother. The trust is gone between us and the woman. Trust yourself, guys. Bolo from Canada is in the house. Good to see you. JC, are you Australian? Did I read that right? What part of Australia? John Boston is in the house. The legendary John Boston. Good to see you, brother. John knows a thing or two about divorce court, doesn't he? He knows a thing or two about taking his ex-wife's lawyer down. And the clients, man, I wish that would be a great TV show. Modern women want the wedding party, not the responsibility for the marriage. They sure do. And who's going to pay for it? Instead of paying dates, you can invest that to do more profitable, invest cryptos and gain a profit. Think how expensive marriage is today. Buying the ring, getting the apartment or the house, getting all of the furniture, getting the honeymoon, your first and last month deposit if you have to rent something, getting a car, new insurance. I mean, it's got to be, 10 to 12 grand for a ring now. Furniture, another couple grand, 2,500 a month times two, 25,000 plus, if not 25 to 50,000 just to get married. How are things in your world out in Utah? Well, it snowed yesterday and the day before, but today it was 50 degrees. All of it melted, so it's all right, brother. Rad, your videos and lives are a breath of fresh air. No manipulative woman could weasel her way through this brotherhood here. They're more than welcome to listen, but this is a man's channel. And then there's, there's women that are watching, which is fine. I think 3% of my followers were women. And when I had 7,000 plus subscribers, 3%, which is how many? 300 were women? 250? Here, collateral is the VJ. Your collateral is everything you ever worked for, guess. Guess who wins in the end? Well said, Bada. Wolf, it used to be uncool for people to ask you personal question. Now it's like somebody needs to know your life right away. Ain't that the truth? My ex-wife's lawyer asked me for a job after the divorce. Talk about a weird what the F moment. Interesting. I hate those fake couples on Instagram or YouTube shorts. They act happy behind closed door. The man is getting slapped. Don't believe what you see. It's an illusion. For 300, Trebek. Well said, Europe. That would be a great show. Start a reality show and help the men get out of court and don't tell anyone it's a show. That would be funny. I'm telling you. Marriage leaves you a hollow shell of what you once were. Mountain Monk. Good to have you, brother. You're absolutely right. $500 ring. If you invested in cryptos, you can make a lot of profit. How about this? How about we do an experiment? Get married in a different country. Buy a cubic zirconium for $100. Do you think that woman will go have that ring tested? I bet she does. 70% divorce rate, 80% filed by women, says Delart. You're 100% right, brother. She wants a man who is making 6 figs and is sleeping on a destroyed bed. Well said. 80% of divorces are initiated by females, but I kicked out that unfaithful, dirty Sharmata out of my house. Sell me marriage again. I know. I'm still waiting for somebody to sell me marriage. I am open to being sold, but nobody can. No, sir. I worked a year in Australia. I'm effing Texan. So a big. Don't mess with Texas. Yeah, I think you mentioned Australia. I like Texas. I was in McAllen, Texas last year. Boy, way the hell down there by Brownsville. And man, some crazy stuff on the border of Texas and Mexico. Did you and your ex-wife like the same food? We did. That was probably the only thing we got along with. We both liked Indian and Thai food. We pretty much liked the same foods. That's what we did. We would go on dates and go to different restaurants. That was one thing that we did enjoy, and I think she would say the same. What is the deepest secret of female nature for you? I mean, what do you want to hide from us at all costs? Good question, Amar. I have friends who are libtards and they favor everything for the woman. I told them one day if you end up in court and one phone call to make would call me and be crying for help. I wonder how many of my friends that remarried will call me telling me they're getting divorced, right? I like the fact that the Texas governor shipped all those immigrants elsewhere. I'll take a bigger wallet over a manipulative ex-wife for 300 Trebek. Free slave mine. Well said. Mile High Ronin is back. If you find a woman that will marry you with a $500 ring, it'll be down at the pawn shop. To all the brothers in the chat, I will give you a mission for tomorrow. When you go out and see a couple, look at the man's face and ask yourself, is he living happy? 99% looks sad. Think you're right, brother Europe. If anyone needs anything, my door is always open. Jimmy Kramer, Emrad, but you will die alone. With marriage, you won't. You still die alone in marriage, unfortunately. But see, most men don't get it. Robin Williams said divorce is from the Latin meaning to rip out a man's genitals through his wallet. Yeah, what happened to Robin Williams? You know, he was paying 3 ex-wives, even how much money he had. Remember, the courts in California take half of everything, if not more. Just because half is the state status of the law, they can come after more. And then he obviously didn't he have some health crisis where he had early onset Parkinson's, and he said, I'm out. I'm still amazed that women who are caught cheating still act like they have the moral high ground. Well said. Bookshelf. John Boston says, yesterday I went out in the morning shopping and couldn't believe how many women are out there shopping. You can tell the married ones are the single, and the single ones are on the prowl. It's cuffing season, John. I know that 300-pound lady that your friend's married to. She's got a couple ladies on your tail. You be careful. You'd have to buy her 2 dinners, if not 3. Many men who lost all their assets just couldn't stay away from the penis fly trap. That's funny. By the way, I watched a movie called The Holdovers with Paul Giamatti, and he said, you know what? You look like a penis in human form. Call the guy. Amar says, I've been cheated on years ago. Do they feel regrets? No. No, they don't, brother. Maybe they might feel regret later down the road, but it's not the regret that you think that they feel. She is an ex for a reason. Don't believe her crocodile tears or her victim mindset stories. If you ask her or her boyfriend or her ex-husband, they will say she is a monster. Wouldn't it be great to interview all the ex-husbands? But you know what? We know exactly why most women divorce. I feel for all the men that deleted themselves for an emotional, bleeding, crappy parasite by making her happy and go. Yeah, I mean, this is why we do the channel. Hopefully men are able to reach out to people and say, you know what? I'm not in a good place. I need help. Emrad, I'm trying to sell you marriage. How about servitude without gratitude? Ooh, I think I'm going to buy that then. Robin Williams, Chris Cornell, how many others, says Seraphim? Well said. What I enjoy most about being single is never having to ask permission to buy anything I want. I'm able to enjoy all my hobbies to the fullest. Are you telling me, Stephen, that you have peace, quiet, and freedom? How dare you? I love the cubic zirconia idea. Imagine just starting to date a woman and you want to get rid of her, so you take out the fake diamond, she runs away and never calls you again. That is a great flypaper trap. The states do like their share of the child support. Title 4D. It does look like a Venus flytrap. It sure does. When pigs fly, California took 85% of my gross pay. Damn it. What part of California, brother? Thanks for being here. That is unfortunate. Do they garnish it? Modern women use men for dinner dates so she can buy her house. She is so strong and independent. Dinner dates for 300 Trebek. Dinner dates for 300 Trebek. How much should a ring cost after that marriage? I say both together, maybe $5,000. I paid $3,500 for my ring, 1996. Right after we got married, she wanted a bigger diamond. So I went and traded in the stone I got, redid the whole ring, added another $2,000. They gave me what I paid for the diamond, upgraded the diamond to more of a carat, and then had to do the whole gold thing. She didn't like. That should have been the sign from day one, but I was too stupid. Rather, the 300-pound woman, my idiot friend, bought a home. The idiots plus puts the pics on the Facebook of the wedding set they bought. I'm thinking about that idiot smashing the 300 pounds. She's going to break the bed. Her bed, she got no headboard. The blind is broken. She got a boot on the wheel. California has lifetime alimony. They sure do. After 10 years. Does anyone know statistics on self-deletion for married men versus that? I don't, but that would be very interesting to know. I'll sell you marriage. One quick question before I do. How do you feel about everything you've ever owned or will own? I'd like to keep that. Especially Robert Williams. He did not deserve to die for those creatures. He just wanted to be happy with his kids. I think the guy was a pretty authentic man. I think he was crushed through his divorces, regardless of his fame. And he had a lot of money from all those movies. And he was crushed. And I think that health just set him over the edge. A friend of my brother went to jail because of a manipulative woman, and he committed deletion. Those infos are important for men. Be careful, guys. Again, it's dangerous. Relationships can be extremely dangerous to men. He was abusive and controlling and freaking out. Brad, I get really small cubic zirconia. That way she's really insulted. Yeah, one of those old rings that's so small. That'd be funny. And film it. Judge told me he got a cardboard box and lives on the Sacramento River. The judge told me to get a cardboard box and live on the Sacramento River. What a jerk. When pigs fly. Unfortunate. Sorry to hear that, man. Men must learn the law and government will always be against you. If you marry her, you'll lose everything when she divorces you. Your house, kids, and your dignity. I think the biggest issue with divorce is the damage it does if you have kids to your kids. As far as money, you can make money after the divorce. You might not make it all back, but at least you can do something. But it's the kids. Got to help men overcome, that rejection and help them know that they can be a better version of themselves. If you are in the rears, literally, the state can garnish you well over 50%. Damn. They can. Damn. Yeah, I'm assuming. At 52, the more I get older, the less I feel any shame of not having a wife or even a girlfriend. What's the point, See you later, Amar. Be safe out there. Eating a double cheese pizza for 300, Trebek. It is never enough, guys. They want more. Give them nothing. It's hard to take care of women. It's hard to take care of women. Don't feel ashamed for being smart, Mysterio. Great advice. So much energy expended, so little return on investment, says LTR 1329, or is that ITR? Good to have you. Tell me where you're from. You're absolutely right. Time to live with the judge. Yeah, go. You show up on his doorstep. I'm sure the shitbag attorneys took advantage of Williams' money, and the disgraceful ex kept it in the court system. She didn't care if it was her money. She's like every female that does that. I wouldn't disagree with that. I bet that happened. She's always looking for a better deal. The grass is greener. Yep, the grass is only greener where you water it, unfortunately. Even when you win, you still lose. Mountain Monk. Average self-deletion ratio is 4 men for 1 female. Every day above dirt is a great day. Stay alive, gentlemen. Well said. And I think you're right. 75% of, I think that was done with, was that in that Red Pill documentary? I still remember men warning me to not get married when I was younger, but then my blue pill ass had to learn for myself, never looking back. What was I thinking? Never again. Yeah, I think a lot of us have felt that way, brother. Coach Lamont's back. Good to see you. John Boston, Mysterio, I'm a little older than you. I see women that I know on dating sites, 56, and saying she's not settling. I don't need no man. I sent some to Rad of the women I know on those sites. 98% of women are not recommended. Not recommended. Men get sad for the loss of the fantasy, not for the actual reality of female nature. Well said, I renegade. That's what I try to push. Men are in love with the fantasy. They want the title of husband. They want the title of being married. They want the title of having a wife. It's like an award that they want. But in the end, they don't want it because they know how miserable they are. What is current divorce trends in the Mormon community? It's pretty high. It's probably not. It's probably 40 to 40%. She wants a God-fearing man so she can use God against him. Absolutely. Do you think you will see a female Golden Bachelor TV? Yes. The current Golden Bachelor, Gary, looks young at age 72. He does look good. Yeah, go watch the Golden Bachelor, guys. Go watch female nature in their 60s and 70s. That's what you're going to get. From New England, longtime lurker, great streams. Good to have you, brother. John Boston is out in New England. Wonderful area. Wonderful area. Appreciate you being here. Young guys think they are locking down the poon by getting married. Hell no. The poon is a very powerful drug. I remember when I was in court, a judge told a guy to go and collect bottles in the street to pay a woman child support. Jeez. I can imagine them doing that. They want that money. It goes in the coffers. Marriage is neediness, which is against red pill rules. Patriots won. Yeah, how about the guys that are red pill that are married? I mean, I guess if you are married and found the red pill, but you can't really be red pill, you'd be purple pilled at that point. You'd be stuck. I believe Patrice had a saying about a man seeks for his mother's love in a sexual mate and never finds it. I think you're right. And women seek a lot of the attributes that their dad had. And if the dad was a jerk, they seek jerks. If the dad was really nice, I mean, my ex married at the opposite of her dad. My dad was masculine, tough. Her dad was a total blue pill wimp. Nice guy, but very wimpy. The mom ran him. He was miserable in marriage. Oh my gosh, was he miserable? He never said anything. He always lifted his wife up while she put him down publicly in front of everybody, at church, at school, in the neighborhood, yelled at him. And he just kept saying, she's having a tough day. Guy had patience. He had more patience than rice in China. The thought is much better than the reality, says Mountain Monk. I could not agree more. I couldn't agree more. Heads up to all you guys. Vet a woman's social media, especially Facebook. If she's trashing other men, she's going to do it to you. Whatever she did to the boyfriend or the ex-husband, she'll do it to you quicker and deeper. It's cheaper to keep her. Not when it comes to peace, quiet, and freedom, says Mile High Ronan. I think you're right. It's dangerous out there, guys. Being married, living with a woman. Wouldn't do it. Wouldn't do it. What can happen? And most guys fall in this trap. The dopamine is controlling their biology, the emotions. They're in love, not knowing that love will eventually wear off. They will get tired of each other typically, and things will not go the way Oprah says it'll go. I still can't believe some men don't see the danger of marriage and cohab. It's not much return for us at the end if we don't lose our life in the process. And I think you just summed it up, brother, right there. It is extremely dangerous and sketchy. And most married men, I think, most, not all, are suffering. They're miserable. They're unhappy. They don't want to live anymore. That's probably why most men die early, because they're like, I need to check out. Bill Burr's old dad's Netflix, a must see. I'll have to check that out, Timmy. Good advice. Ed, if a judge told me to go collect bottles for support, I would have that judge recused and appeal what was decided, then report the judge to the board. I bet you would, John. I could see John totally going nuts. Then find pics of the judge and the attorney and give that to the board and report them for collusion. Ask me how I know how to do this. John Boston. That advice is great. The 2 a.m. re is real. Never forget, says Mile High Ronan. When pigs fly, women look for the father they never had. Men look for the mother they always had. Yeah, I should have married someone like my mother. I didn't. I married the opposite. Praying mantis and spider males are so drawn to mating they get killed and eaten for the pleasure. Humans are pretty similar. Well said, brother. Men are stupid. There is no love. If she loves, why she wants the big house, the car, and your money. She loves your finances. No romance with no finance. It's transactional, isn't it, Europe? Fenton's last word of advice was to keep our power to ourselves. There's a lot of power that comes from having peace, quiet, and freedom. There's a lot of power for you going your own way and deciding that you want to be the captain of your life. Think about that. But yet men that want to do that seem to be abusive and controlling, or incels, or weird. Because they want to keep us locked down in the programming. Why does the Golden Bachelor need to settle down? Why not just date the grave? Date to the grave. I don't know. Fantasy. It's the whole idea of not wanting to die alone. Women are apex predators and men are delusioned to tango with them. Appreciate their beauty, but stay out of reach of their claws and teeth, says Stephen. My stance with attorneys and judges colluding, no quarter. Not many homeless marriages going on. Yeah. It's been a great stream, guys. Stay out of trouble. And remember, lean into those men and other people and other channels if you need help, advice, whatever. Share your stories. Share your experience. This is how we come together. Bolo says, no money, no honey. No honey it is. I was RP before my marriage, but gambled it all in. Too young to fall in love. Well said. In this life, men cannot be too careful regarding life's choices. Boy, I wish I would have known that. If your ex and her mother were the same age and you had to marry one at age 24, who wins for you? Well, I would still marry. They were the same person. Men don't want to die alone, but if a man dies, she will replace him in 5 days. Well said. Guys, it's been great to see everybody. I'm going to cut it out here with one more quote. It makes me angry when I see men abused in the system. And with that, I absolutely agree. Polska's in the house. Good to see you, brother. And remember, Oprah never married Stedman. I wonder why. Oprah wants you all to be married. Nah, who knows? Rebel against defeat. Chase excellence, masculine and men first. Thank you, guys. Great to see you.